Tuesdays, 9 p.m. on TV 33. Join me, Barry Ross, on Mixing It Up. We'll feature informative community organizations that will offer solutions to Wayne County residents in reference to employment, safety, and security within neighborhoods, job training, education, and mentoring programs. Remember, Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Join me, Barry Ross, Mixing It Up on TV 33. Good evening, and welcome to another segment of Mixing It Up. My name is Barry Ross. We are broadcast to you live on TV 33 in most of Detroit, Comcast 20. We are also online at tv33live.com. We want to encourage you to please call in. We appreciate your opinions, your ideas. Please call into the show, 313-868-0342. 868-0351, 868-4336. And I want to encourage everybody to get involved. Guess what? We are also live on Facebook at the new TV 33 WHPR. You click welcome, the word welcome, and then you are a member of the page, and you can see us live on Facebook. And then if you type in your own name, you can go to your own page, and now you can communicate with your friends while you're watching the show, and you can also call in, obviously, and ask us questions. And we certainly would appreciate your involvement in the show. After all, this is a community education show, and it's all about you, us, and everybody in the city, and we certainly all need each other. On tonight's show, I have a very important, used to be a district judge in Detroit, Mr. Rudy Serra. I also have Robert L. Bankston that works in the prison reentry system. When men and women come out of prison, they need a new life. He's here to illustrate the programs that are available to ex-cons. And by the way, if you hire an ex-con in the city of Detroit, you are actually insured up to a certain limit, so we need businesses to hire ex-cons. There's a lot of ex-cons going to be coming out of prison in the next few years, and there are now. We cannot turn our back on them. This is our future. We also have, at 10 o'clock, about at 10 after 10, we have the Better Detroit Youth Movement, which is now an integral part of my show. And tonight they got a great subject. It's more than important on HIV and sexually transmitted diseases. And these young people go out on the streets and talk to people and find out their views and how we can help. And they're going to bring some resources that are available to the community where you can go and get help at some free clinics. And obviously, it's more than important. We want everyone to know that we need to address these problems in our community from the bottom up. We need to get children when they are young so we can change the culture, so we can change that in Detroit. It's exceptionally important that we work with the youth and provide an adequate education. And by the way, tell your child you love your kid before they go to school in the morning. Don't abuse your children. And maybe we can do something about the trash on the way to school in the morning. These children do not have to see 20 feet high trash, abandoned houses, burnt out houses. It's unacceptable. We want everybody to know that Minister Shabazz, myself, and Robert Robinson have started a fund for the little bitty baby girl that died last September in a fire in Detroit from smoke inhalation when the fire department sent out a tech truck because they didn't have adequate trucks to come out with no fire hose, couldn't hook up to water, and no ladder, and this baby died. We have a fund that's set up for families who cannot afford to bury their child in a result of a fire. I mean, it's one thing we're losing our young. Parents are supposed to go before the children. It's one thing that they die, but it's unacceptable. We can't even put our children to rest. That doesn't get it with me. And yesterday, as Robert Robinson spoke so eloquently on Minister Shabazz's show about the 9-month-old baby that got murdered the other day, it's just atrocious. Do you know that these three men were standing in the street for 15 minutes firing into a house and nothing happened? And not only that, they didn't run to their car, they walked. They strutted to their car. like they own like they own the streets. That's unacceptable to us. So what are we going to do about all this? We can no longer turn a blind eye. I don't have a lot of time to go on, but I want to acknowledge a very close young man, real quickly. Avery McTaw is going to be 25, right, Avery? Isn't that 25, Dad? 23? March 2nd, this young man is at my studio right now, and I just want to say, Avery, I want to wish you the happiest birthday imaginable, and we all want to wish him in the studio today.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Many more.
Yes.
Many more.
This man shops at my store with his father, and I had to have him in the studio today, and maybe one day we're going to have you on this set, okay? I love you. I appreciate you, and you know I step out and go overboard to service you, right? Okay, all right. Without further ado, I want to get into my first guest, Judge Serra.
Good evening, Bill.
Thank you very much for coming today.
Delighted to be here.
You were on the bench in Detroit for how many years?
About 2.5 years.
2.5 years. And where did you practice? Where were you? Downtown in the 36th? Or?
Yes, I was one of the 31 judges on the 36th District Court.
And this was how long ago?
I was appointed by Governor Granholm in 2004.
And you know, we have talked about this. I just want to ask you, if I may, where have you seen society go in terms of the nature of the crimes committed today as opposed to years ago? And what do you think we can do about it?
Well, I think that we need to get a grip on the way many of the things are connected that we're seeing today. You know, many people believe that drug addiction is a disease. Being angry with someone because they're addicted or an alcoholic makes as much sense as being angry with someone because they have cancer. And yet we know that people involved in that culture are the people that are doing the gangbanging, the people that are committing acts of violence. We know that drug addiction affects your neurochemistry. Cocaine in particular tends to foment unreasonable outbursts of anger. What we see today is a fundamental struggle about what is the role of government. I believe one of the roles of government is to address those problems at the root by treating things like drug addiction. We've got to make some fundamental decisions. With every administration in Lansing, we have issues about, is the Department of Corrections going to be about rehabilitation? Is the department going to be about punishment? Is all we're going to do just get people off the street? Are we going to assume that those people will be back in society one day and provide programming or not? I'm really disturbed to hear things about like emergency financial managers, because somehow somebody's gotten the idea that our preeminent value is a balanced budget. And yet we know the federal Constitution doesn't require a balanced budget. Our preeminent value has never been balancing the books. Checks and balances, the right to vote, the right to representation have always been among the values. And I believe that those values are important because they relate to what does a community do when we've got problems like babies being murdered in their homes, getting caught in the crossfire. You know, you commented about the fire department not responding. I believe one of the biggest quality of life issues in any city is police response time. Because if you're out there and you believe you're on your own, why would you ever give up your gun? Last year, there were 34 instances in the city of Detroit of people killing other people, and the police and the prosecutor deciding that it was justifiable because the police didn't show up.
When you make this statement, at what point did were these decisions made? Before they went to, what do you mean? They were arrested and then went to court?
You know, the sources that I have don't say where that decision was made, but they pointed out that there were 34 cases where people weren't prosecuted. Because what they did, they killed another person, and the police and the prosecutor decided it wasn't a crime, it was justifiable. And that's because so many of the people know the police aren't going to be here. The police aren't going to show up. Prior to being a judge, I lived in the city of Detroit for some time, Barry. I called the Detroit police twice. They didn't show up either time. The second time, they told me on the phone, you wait for them, they're on their way. I waited till 5:30 a.m. They never showed up. After I became a judge, if I called, they were there like that. That's not right. They should be there like that for every citizen, not just for people that they think have some influence. Because when they don't show up, it leads to escalation and it leads to violence.
It's obvious that these are very true facts, but you know what else too? Obviously, the community has a problem with trust in the police as well. But if I may, it's one thing to arrest someone, but the system itself, the court system itself, what is it like going through the system to try to prosecute somebody that did a perverse crime, an act, a serial killer, what have you? What are we going through in our court system today? It's relatively chaotic, I would presume.
Well, I don't think over the years that I've been in practice I've seen an increase in chaos in the court system per se. I do think that there have been changes where I think many members of the public believe that everything is stacked in favor of the defendant and it's really hard to prosecute someone. I think that there is very little realization that if one person is willing to lie, you can be prosecuted and you can even be convicted. We know from history, we know from the book Actual Innocence, cases of 135 people on death row who could not have possibly committed the crime they were accused of committing. So if that's happening in death penalty cases, you can be sure that in other kinds of cases, people are being prosecuted wrongly, evidence is being falsified, evidence is being withheld. That's one side of the coin. When you see the government, the police, not responsive to the community and processing cases without paying real attention to the facts of those cases, that's a real problem. What I think is happening on the other end of the scale, it's not chaos in the courts, but it's chaos in the homes and chaos on the streets. I believe that the drug addiction problems and related problems that we're seeing in Detroit and communities like that are getting worse and worse because our government, somewhere along the line, has made the policy decision that it's not our job to take care of that. And I believe that that's wrong.
I think I hear you, and you know what? It's obvious to me that conventional government doesn't care what happens in this city overall. And I say this all the time. Think about this. Why would so many schools be closing? Why would we have 80,000 abandoned houses in the city of Detroit and not much is getting done? Why would we have this level of trash? And I have patrolled on the city of Detroit in various areas, and I'm telling you, I've seen trash 20 feet high. All this plays a negative sentiment on children and adults. If they're not looking out for me, what difference does it make to me anymore? What kind of hope do I have that things are going to get better? It's a cultural problem, and I agree. It seems like we put a Band-Aid on drug addiction. I myself am a recovering drug addict, and I know very well that you can send somebody to prison. If you don't teach this person how they operate within their mind, they're going to have a problem when they get out trying to stay sober if they don't want it.
Right.
But isn't it true that the majority of crimes and recidivism rate is a result of drug-related crimes? The majority of crimes in our prison system? Okay, so this should say something about what we need to do with treatment centers,
Right.
but we don't have money here to turn on streetlights. We don't, you know that we talked about this. Cut down the hours of operation of the police stations in Detroit.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
At 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Detroit police stations close down till 8 in the morning. So somebody they can no longer go into a police station to make a report. All these issues we have, and the chance of the emergency manager in a school system, they don't care anymore. So we, as a community, we need to get everybody on board. You know what? I'm a little tired of talking about this, and not much is getting done. It moves a little too slow for me.
Oh,
This
likewise.
community involvement, the community involvement. I come here every week and I talk about it. Malik talks about it. It Takes a Village talks about it. But still people aren't coming forth. I don't know what they need to really wake up.
Well, let me just jump in with two quick things. One is in terms of, those neighborhoods where you see trees growing out of the trash and kids walking to school. I'm really hopeful that the new system of electing council members by district may help that, because now some of those neighborhoods where there's a beautiful home next to one that's burned out, next to a vacant lot, next to one with trees growing up in the garbage, now that neighborhood will have a representative that is responsible for that neighborhood. So that's one thing that I hope may get our government
If he gets the
operating.
money to be responsible to take that to fruition, I would agree.
And that's item two. All of the time that government at this level is making the decision that our most important value is balancing the budget, so we've got to cut crime programs, we've got to cut education, all the time that that's going on, Government is also making policy decisions to transfer your money and my money to the wealthiest 0.01% of people in America. People that are making their incomes have increased by 250% over the past few years. $1 in $8 in this economy is going to the top 0.1%, not the top one.
I am so proud to have a man of your stature in this, that has been in the system, and you are today a lawyer, obviously, that comes here and talks about the truth as it is, that it is the top level of corporations that are controlling the little people.
Making record profits, astronomical excess profits, while at the same time whining that they can't pay more taxes. The solution is to cut education and cut the police and cut drug programs.
Sad.
Because they can't afford to take a little bit of their incredibly obscene profits and reinvest them in the community. And those are government policy decisions that should be driven by the way we vote.
I just read today that $1 in $4 that are donated to the Republican Party are coming from just a few people. 1 in 4. The big people in Las Vegas, a couple casino owners, the big people are contributing the majority of the money. It's amazing.
Over the past 2 decades, Barry, contributions from the financial services industry have increased more than 700% to political campaigns.
Right.
Now, they're not putting that money there because it's not buying them anything. The reason the banks were deregulated, the reason our homes are being foreclosed, is because of those campaign contributions driving policy.
Let's take a call.
Sure.
All right? Excuse me. Good evening. You're on the air. How are you? Hello? Must have lost him.
I bored him already.
Hello, you're on the air. We have a few more minutes. So where are you practicing today? Where are you practicing law?
I'm in private practice in Ferndale, and I practice all over the state, primarily in Wayne, Oakland, and Macomb County.
And what kind of law are you practicing?
I do.
LPD or?
So I do a great deal of criminal defense. I do family law, divorces, custody. I do a lot of civil rights, including police misconduct cases. I have a couple of those going on in the federal courts right now. And just so your viewers know, my name's Rudy, R-U-D-Y. The phone number is 313-331-RUDY, 7839.
Do you have a website? Do you have an email they can contact you?
www.rudysarah.com.
All right, whenever you repeat that, let's take a call.
Sure.
Hi, you're on the air. How are you?
Yes, I'm going to make it quick. I had just called. I got cut off.
Okay. Can you speak a little louder, please?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I
you hear
can.
me?
Thank you.
I just really wanted to say I'm really sick of all the madness that's going on in Detroit. I'm 32. I've been here since I was 5 years old. Ever since I've been a young man, no jobs have been here in Detroit. The officials are stealing money. It's so much corruption in the city, crime, and I'm frustrated with the police department. I'm frustrated that they would actually shut down their services after 4 o'clock. I mean, it could be a real crime, a real murder, or something going on, and it's sad. I'm upset with the court system in Michigan. In a way, I want to move from this city because it's sad. Every other city I go to, they don't have problems like Michigan.
May I ask you a
That's all I
question?
wanted to say.
I'd like to ask you a question. As an individual that feels this way, what would you like to do about it? Or what do you feel you can do about it?
Well, I've spoke up. I went to different community outreaches. I've been involved in neighborhood block clubs. I've been involved with protesters. I've spoken to Minister Malik. All I can do is just keep preaching my voice and keep saying that it's time for a change. That's all I can do.
Would you like to come out with Minister Shabazz when he goes out to march on drug houses, and me and other groups when we go out for murders, to literally get on the streets when you can? Are you able to do that?
Yes, I'm definitely able to do it.
I want to give you my phone number, and I got to cut you off in a second. Can I do that?
Yes.
My name is Barry Ross, and it's 248-417-9696.
Okay.
And I'm the founder of Detroit Coalition Against Violence, and I support Malik, It Takes a Village, and any group that's actively getting on the streets. And we try not to talk about it, but be about it. You know, words are cheap.
I accept that.
I appreciate your sentiment. Thank you for the call.
All right.
Rudy, if I may, give your contact information again.
It's 313-331-RUDY.
And your email.
www.rudysarah.com.
And anybody that hires you as a result of this show to represent them for counsel, could you offer them anything at all? Maybe a slight discount for watching the show? Anything at all? Or are you willing to do anything? If they call you and they need help on a case and you help them, maybe offer them 10% off, 5%
Sure,
off,
I
anything
can do that.
whatsoever, to say that you saw it on Mixing It Up, not to put you on the spot. I'll cover the 5 or 10%.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about that. I can't guarantee I can always help the people who call.
That's
But I'm
correct.
always willing to talk with them, listen, and give them my best analysis.
All right. I'm disappointed that I can't have you on long because I'm sort of scurrying through.
I'm delighted to be here any amount of time you have, Barry.
All right. I appreciate you. We're gonna wrap this segment up, and we're gonna thank you very much for coming. And I want to have you back.
Glad to.
And we'll be right back after a short break.
All right.
Stay there.
Hi, Mom. Where'd you get all this Narcotics Anonymous stuff from?
Mrs. Owens had Narcotics Anonymous come and talk to our class about meetings that can help people stop using drugs.
Narcotics Anonymous.
Yes, please. Can you help me?
Call Narcotics Anonymous. We can help you.
We are the faces of Detroit. We are the faces of Delray.
We are the faces of Delray. Governor Snyder wants to put us out of our homes by building a bridge in our front yard.
Homes where we raised our families.
A community where we buried our loved one.
Delray is struggling, but it's not lifeless. It's a community of hopes and dreams.
Governor Snyder.
Invest.
Not destroy.
1,000 men's suits. And right now at Sermons, you can buy one and get 2 free. Not 1 suit, but 2 free. Buy 1 suit, bring 2 friends. Buy 1 suit, bring 2 relatives. Buy 1 suit, get 2 free. Bring your pastor, your boss, your teacher. Buy 1 suit and get 2 free. Sermons with 90 years of experience, carrying jeans, exotic skin shoes, sets, shirts, leather, sweaters, everything for the well-dressed man. Buy 1 suit, get 2 free. Sermons on Randolph in downtown Detroit.
The Brinker Group has been serving clients throughout Metro Detroit since 1989. Our group is comprised of 5 commercial contracting firms that specialize in construction management, general contracting, architectural interiors, flooring, glass and aluminum applications, and electrical installation. For exceptional service at competitive rates, choose the Brinker Group. We build with quality, confidence, and pride.
And mixing it up, and do I have a great guest coming up now? For all of you that are interested in getting some assistance and help in when you're coming out of prison, if you have family members, relatives, what have you, friends that need help, that need assistance, this man is going to tell you what the real deal is and what kind of programs are available and how we can interact together. And Robert Bankston, I have to thank you very much for coming to the show tonight.
Barry, thank you for having me.
You have a great voice.
Thank you.
And you brought your beautiful wife with you. Hello. Thank you for coming out tonight. So what's happening? You're with the Vanguard.
Vanguard Community Economic Development Corporation. And we have one of maybe 30 programs just there. It's a reentry program for the men and women that's coming out of prison. We service max outs. Max outs are men and women who served all of their time in prison. If the judge sentenced them 10 to 15 years, they've done the entire 15 years. And when they come home, they're not mandated by the state with parole or probation.
And in your opinion, it seems to me, if I may ask, just to divert for a second, it seems like the men, I haven't met a lot of women that have been in prison, but it seems like the men that have been for a sustained period of time, years, seem to have hit the deepest bottom and are willing to change the most? It seems like the guys with the short. What's your opinion on this? You work with a lot of guys.
Well, Barry, I'm going to tell you something. When a man has been incarcerated for 15, 20, we have guys that's been incarcerated anywhere from 2 years to 30 years. When a guy has been incarcerated for 25 years, 20 years or more, it's hard to get incorporated back into society.
Oh, I'm sure.
When they went away, a lot of times there was no cell phones, no iPods, so they have to learn how to use technology, no computers, no laptops. So the first thing we have to do is slowly get them back into society. We take them slow. We start off bad. Some of these guys are even afraid to go in public places, Barry.
And I can imagine. Good evening to our guest that just came in the studio, by the way. Hey, I have to imagine. I was 50 years old before I got my first computer, and I'm telling you, I was afraid to turn it on. So somebody that's been away from all this technology, it has to be daunting. So if they're willing to come to you, what is the process and what can you do for these men? And you work with men and women?
Men and women, Barry.
Okay.
What we do as far as the technology, we actually have a computer program. We work with we collaborate with another organization where we actually send them through a computer class. And once they get through with the computer class, we supply them with a laptop, a brand new laptop or a reconditioned laptop for $75. But we help them with the $75 if they don't have it. So once we teach them how to use a computer, we get them laptops.
How many computers are available?
Well, each class holds 30 people. Each class consists of 6 weeks. And it's ongoing. It's ongoing.
And obviously, this is funded by the government.
Sure.
And so you wait till it's reissued because these are grants, I would presume, if they're from the government.
Yes.
So the programs stop and start and start and start, or are they constant?
It's constant. The computer program, Barry, is constant. Not only do we help them with the new technology, we teach life skills, soft skills. We do their resumes. A lot of times they figure because they've been in prison, they have gaps in their resumes. They don't know how to fill that in. We do that. We help them with ID restoration. We help them with bus tickets. We provide mentoring services.
This is a 6-week course.
The computer course is. Ours is 6 months.
6 months?
6 months. And it's free.
And they have to, what is it, every day?
Twice a week.
Okay, now how do they get involved in these programs and where do they go and
what
kind
they
of information do we
is
have
they
for
could
them?
contact me at 313-721-7532. My name is Robert Bankston, and we're actually located at Vanguard, which is located on East Grand Boulevard, 2785.
East Grand Boulevard near what? I'm just curious because I'd like to stop.
I-75.
Okay.
East Grand Boulevard and I-75.
Email?
www.vanguardcdc.org.
Okay. And are there programs right now? I mean, if a program's been running, can someone just jump into a program that has already been started? Or
Sure they can.
Really?
Sure they can. The program is structured so that you don't have to start it from the beginning. You can just come in and fit in where you at. We have it stagnated like that.
All right, let's not to interrupt. Let's take a call. Hi, you're on the air with Mr. Robert Bankston. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Hi, could you speak up a little, please?
Good evening, how are you?
Hi, you've been listening to the show, I hope.
Yes, I have.
Okay, you have a question?
Yeah, I was wondering if you had to be an offender to be in the program.
Yes, sir. Well, our program is for people that's re-entering back into society that have been incarcerated, yes. These are for returning citizens.
Is there any way you could squeeze a non-offender in?
I wish we could, but the guidelines from our funder dictates that you have to be a returning citizen. However, you can come up to Vanguard, which is located at 2785 East Grand Boulevard, and there are services. We still can help you. There are programs there that can help you, but our particular program is for returning citizens.
Hey,
All right,
sir,
thank you.
excuse me, you still there?
Yep.
Are you computer savvy? You have a computer at home?
Yep.
If you go to the official Detroit Empowerment Movement, this is a Facebook page that posts anything in relation to jobs, government, acts of violence, dumping, anything that's related to community, the city, and the government. The official Detroit Empowerment Movement, and I want to give you my phone number. Can you take this down?
Okay, I'm ready.
248-417-9696.
Okay.
And I just want to tell you who I am. I'm one of the owners of Sermons Close downtown Detroit. I'm there every day except for Wednesday. You can come down and meet me and I will do what I can to talk to you about any kind of skills you have and trying to help you.
Okay, I'll do that.
Fair enough?
All right.
All right, thank you. Okay. So how does someone coming out of prison, if they come out of a prison, how do they know about the program?
Well, first of all, we get referrals from MDOC, from the probation officers, parole officers, and other organizations, and word of mouth on the street. People that have come home. And one of the things, too, Barry, about people in our program with jobs, a lot of times the guys that go through our programs, once they get jobs, they come back and tell other members of our program about the job, then they get hired too.
Yeah, if something's good, people generally tell their friends about it.
Right.
What's the success rate in these programs?
Well, in a 2-year period, we served 166 returning citizens. I'm going to say we have a 80 to 90% success rate in terms of people securing housing. We help people get jobs. What happens is we work with some temporary agencies. And a lot of times the way to get these jobs and get into companies is through temporary agencies. And a lot of times if the companies like your work, they'll hire you permanently. But we do work with temporary agencies to get returning citizens jobs because it's hard.
Now, if they don't have the job yet and they're in a training program and they don't have a place to live, can you help them with this?
We collaborate with other organizations. If we don't have a place for them, we do collaborate with other organizations to find them a place to stay, yes.
I think this is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I want to come by and visit and get familiar with this. And I encourage you as well to post any information. I told you earlier, the official Detroit Empowerment Movement, anybody that needs a job, anybody that wants to get involved in community organizations, these things are posted there 24/7. For, like something's over here, something's over there. We are all over the place with everything we do. There's a lot of good organizations, but we're all not working together. And if we all work together, we could get a lot more done.
Also on,
you can move up a little bit.
On the Vanguard website, which is www.vanguardcdc.org, there are also job postings on that website if they go there.
What is that again?
www.vanguardcdc.org. There are job opportunities that are listed on that site, and you don't have to be a returning citizen for those jobs.
Okay, you can be a regular guy, regular lady. VanguardCDC.org posts jobs, training programs, what have you.
Exactly.
We have a couple more minutes. Is there anything else you want to say or talk about?
Well, what happens, Barry, one of the things is when a person comes home, we also work with community colleges to get them in college, to get them their GEDs. We also assist them with education.
How old is Vanguard? How long they been around?
Vanguard has been doing what they do for about 18 years. It's the community economic development arm of the Second Ebenezer Church, which is Bishop Edgar Van.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, this is through him?
Yeah.
He started it?
Yes.
Very interesting.
Yes.
Okay. Anybody that really wants to, I just want to say that I went into drug treatment. And when I went in there, I didn't plan on stopping for the rest of my life. And you never know when something's going to take a hold of you. A lot of times we get involved in programs and our desire to really change isn't there yet. But when you see others changing, it's rather inspirational to me. I saw 2 friends of mine that I had known years before I went into treatment. I said, Jesus Christ, if these guys want to get clean, you know what? I think I want to get clean. And not that I want, not that I could too. I said to myself, I think I want to. So how do we make a child, an adult, change? It's got to come from within. So someone comes out of jail, someone comes out of prison, they got to want it within their own heart. You can't make a child do well in school if he or she doesn't want to even go to school. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And you can't make a marriage work if the both of you aren't willing to make it work.
And you know what, Barry, on that same, yeah, that's right, on that same subject, if a person has a substance abuse problem, they come to see me, I have them in treatment within an hour if they really want to go.
If someone gets out of jail and been in jail for a long time and is still using, they can come to you.
What happens is people have in their mind when they're in jail, they have a plan of how things are going to go when they come home. And it doesn't always work out that way. So out of frustration, a lot of times they go to using. They abuse substances. So if that does occur, they come see me, I can have them in treatment within 1 hour.
The best laid plans of mice and men often go astray. Right. So most of the things that I ever planned out in my mind never actually go. You always got to have a plan B.
Right.
So you never know. Our prison system, in general, it's a business.
That's exactly what it is.
It's a business. Is it, in your opinion, laid out in our city for big business, for things to fail?
But of course it is.
Okay, that's what I'm asking.
Well, it's really not designed to rehabilitate people. Right. Now what you have also...
Programs are gone.
Programs are gone. Funding are cut. And what you start to have now is the large hotel chains going into the prison business for profit.
Oh, my God.
Prisons are now being erected for profit. They privatizing the states. A lot of the states are broke. They're getting out of the prison business, so they're privatizing. So it's a business now.
So Paris Hilton's daddy's now in the prison business.
Well.
Going into the prison business. Well, I don't want to see anybody fail, and I want to see everybody do good. And unfortunately, we are set up. There's so many negative things going on in this city. You have to really, really want and to buck the odds. And when you see all your friends selling drugs, when you see it's really hard to do well. But you got to believe that you can get out because others have got out. Right. And listen, obviously, I might not look like some of you. I was homeless. I did drugs for 25 years. I sold drugs. I changed. If I can change, anyone can change. There are men that have committed murder when they were very young, gone to prison, come out, and changed. Some do, some don't, but you got to want it.
You have to want it, Barry. We have men that have come to our program that didn't even have a GED that are now about to graduate from college.
That is wonderful.
Yeah.
That is wonderful.
Yeah, we assist them with that.
That's wonderful. In closing, give your name, give your number again, give your email, give the website again.
My name is Robert Bankston, and my phone number, I can be reached at 313-721-7532. The website is www.vanguardcdc.org.
Okay, I appreciate you coming.
Barry, thank you for having me.
And I want to have you back, and we're going to get involved, and I want to come by and see what's going on there.
Please do.
And thank you very
so
much. We're going to take a short break. If you just stick there for a minute. Those are nice pants. They look like Sermon's Clothes pants.
They are.
They are Sermon's Clothes.
And they are.
All right, we'll be right back, everybody, with a very big surprise guest.
We are the faces of Detroit. We are the faces of Delray.
We are the faces of Delray. Governor Snyder wants to put us out of our homes by building a bridge in our front yard.
Homes where we raised our families.
A community where we buried our loved one.
Delray is struggling, but it's not lifeless. It's a community of hopes and dreams.
Governor Snyder.
Invest,
not destroy.
1,000 men's suits. And right now at Sermons, you can buy one and get two free. Not one suit, but two free. Buy one suit, bring two friends. Buy one suit, bring two relatives. Buy one suit, get two free. Your boss, your teacher, buy one suit and get two free. Sermons with 90 years of experience, carrying jeans, exotic skin shoes, sets, shirts, leathers, sweaters, everything for the well-dressed man. Buy one suit, get two free. Sermons on Randolph in downtown Detroit.
The Brinker Group has been serving clients throughout Metro Detroit since 1989. Our group is comprised of 5 commercial contracting firms that specialize in construction management, general contracting, architectural interiors, flooring, glass and aluminum applications, and electrical installation. For exceptional service at competitive rates, choose the Brinker Group. We build with quality, confidence, and pride.
Hey, come on. Man, what is taking so long? Let's play.
Just getting a number.
Whose number?
Narcotics Anonymous.
Hey, if you need to talk.
No way, it's not for me, it's for my brother. He's constantly wasted. Come on, hoop time. Can you tell me about NA?
Call Narcotics Anonymous. We can help you.
Get this off. We are back live on TV 33, Comcast 20, and I'm not going to waste any time. And man, do I got a surprise for you. This is rather rare. I have a man that is no stranger to anybody in the city of Detroit that has listened to the R&B for the last 25 years in the city of Detroit, who has a person that maybe you like basketball a little bit. Maybe you like to go to the Pistons game. Maybe you hear it. Maybe you're familiar with Mason in the Evening, who happens to be on this show tonight. And without any further delay, Mr. Mason.
My man Barry. My man! That's my man!
Look who's here.
You a bad man, Barry.
No, I'm just a man.
Doing good, man.
Don't blow me up. We want everybody to know this man is back. Did you hear me?
Oh, yeah, we're back.
Mason is back in town. He's not down, and he's not out. He's here.
Oh, yeah, we're here.
How are you?
Good evening.
How are you? How you feeling?
Man, I'm great. I have a bad cold, but I'm working through it.
You can even get it on me. I don't care. Coming from you, I'll take it.
We're longtime friends. Tell people that. We didn't meet each other on television.
You can tell them.
Barry and I, we go back 100 years. He and his brother I know very well. They stick close to me, and they make sure I'm okay. So that's a real deal. Also, Eddie Kendricks from the Temptations said he bought the Temptations outfits from Sermons. That's a true story. Nobody knows that. Eddie Kendricks said that on a live interview with me.
Yeah, okay.
It's good stuff, man.
All right, but forget Sermons clothes.
Whatever you want to talk about, I want to talk about it.
I want to talk about you, and I want to talk about your love for the community in Detroit and the voice you've had here for so many years. And you love Mason, right?
Well, I love Detroit.
Everybody loves Mason.
I love Detroit, man. You know, when I first got a job in Detroit, I'm from Cleveland originally. So I get a job in Detroit. There's a place called the Donut Hole in Cleveland, in East Cleveland. So I go to East Cleveland. I've been in Detroit about 5 months. So they're reading an article about some murder that happens in Detroit. And they're reading the story all wrong. I go, that's not right. That's not the way the story went. I said, I worked there. It didn't go that way. So about 4 months later, some other crazy story happens in town. I'm back at Mr. Donut in East Cleveland, and I hear them talking about Detroit again. I go, wait a minute. That's not the way it went. I lived there. See, it's the difference between working there and living there.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, it touched me. So no, this has been my home my whole adult life. I spent my teenage life in Cleveland, but my whole adult life has been Detroit. This is my home. This is where I make money. This is where people love me. This is where people take care of me.
I want you to smile a little bit, Mason.
I'm happy. Trust me, I'm happy.
Tell your face.
I'm happy.
Let's take a call for a minute because I want to get started with. Hi, you're on the air with Mr. Mason in the Evening. How are you?
Fine. How you doing, girl?
How you doing?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
Steve.
What do you want to ask me?
I went to the Special Olympics State Games.
What's my special what?
And then after that, I won 2 medals.
Oh,
you're part of the Special Olympics?
Yeah.
Yes. We've been part of the Special Olympics. Is there something you want to ask me in particular?
Yes.
What is it?
I like Detroit Pistons.
Detroit Pistons! I love you too. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. You know, when I started the NBA, I was the second. The first black announcer was in Los Angeles. I was the second black announcer in the NBA. After I went through 3 years in the NBA, they changed 28 announcers and made them all African American. The NBA put a mandate out that they wanted their arena to sound like
because
Detroit.
of you.
Yeah, but it wasn't that easy. There were fans who came to me when I first started, and I remember a particular a female who came to me. She had to be about 70. She was dripped in ice. And she was a season ticket holder. And she came to me. She tapped me on the shoulder. She said, "Young man, when will the real announcer come in?" I said, "Give him 3 weeks. He'll be back." But yeah. So that's that story. And I've been to Turkey. I've done the International All-Star game in Turkey. I did the NBA All-Star game in Vegas. The only announcer picked to do that. So and there were days I was going to quit, Barry, because they didn't take to me initially. And they thought I was from the streets of Detroit, and they didn't like that vernacular that I was giving them. And so I remember one day.
But you speak very well, Mason.
Yeah, but it didn't go. I remember a referee coming to me one day after a game. He says, "Listen, son, you wait for me to make the call." And so I said, "Okay, my mistake." I was a little excited. So then he comes back and he says it again. So he stops the game in the third quarter, And he comes back. I took my headphones off. And because then I was going to tell him a piece of my mind and quit and walk away. But I didn't. And when I turned around that night, there was a black family who had never been on the floor, had never been allowed to come that close. They came down and they said, man, we're so glad you're here. We're season ticket holders. So, you know, it's because of the love of Detroit that I was able to do it. And they all imitate me. The guy in Miami is horrible. The guy in Cleveland, you know, they sent me to Cleveland. They flew me on a private jet to Cleveland, told me to evaluate the announcer and tell him. I tried to keep the guy. They didn't keep him. They changed it anyway. But they all try to imitate me, but they don't know the secret. See, they scream. I don't scream. I talk the game, and I tell a story.
We don't want to let that out.
Yeah, well, I tell a story. They like to scream. They go, you know, they scream the whole
It's
game.
the difference between someone screaming a song and someone singing a song.
So I sing. I tell a story of the game as it unfolds. So the NBA has been very good to me. I'm very proud to be a part of it, and I get good compliments. 98% of my compliments don't come from the Detroit Pistons. They come from the opposing team.
Wow.
Yeah. Paul Pierce came to me just couple nights ago. He said, "You're the best in the game, bar none." And then he walked on the floor. But 98% of the comments that I get about my style comes from the opposing team or coaches.
You only do home games?
Only home games, except at one time in the All-Star.
Let me ask you a question. You are now, tell everybody where you are now in case those
I'm on
that have
AM
been under a rock.
1200. AM 1200, 99.9 FM. We are the Mason Radio Show. Angie Starr, the Armored Sports Truck, the Poet Poetic, and Donna Miko, the engineer. I keep my team with me because it's important to keep
family.
Yes, it's important. You know, it's very important to me to keep them with me and show them what I've experienced in radio and give them that feel.
And we want to acknowledge Angie Starr is in the studio with you.
She's here.
Because he doesn't
Angie
play.
Starr.
He's not just saying it.
Yeah.
He brings
No,
it
no,
with her.
yeah.
And this is the quintessential. When you talk about party, she's a walking party.
But I'm proud of you, Barry.
Thank you.
Because you
Hey,
stepped out in the community, man.
That's okay. Thank you. But at Nikki's.
Yes, Nikki.
She put
Angie
Nikki's
the
on
Star.
the map. One day I went by Nikki's, there was 2 people. Next day there was 350 people
Yeah, that's
outside
Angie
waiting to
Starr.
get in. I said, what the hell's going on here? I couldn't
Angie
believe
the
it. And then
Star.
Angie Starr, what you did something with the Lion or something at the
Yeah.
I was listening to that interview.
She does all that
She's
stuff.
fearless.
You
She's
should
fearless.
call. People always want to ask me a question. You know, call. I can tell you about a number of issues. You know, I came from the Black Nationalist movement in Cleveland, Ohio. Fred Evans, who was killed in a house in Cleveland. I was the guy whose bike he got on. We drove up the hill. He told me to get back on the bike and ride as fast as I can down the hill. By the time I got to the bottom of the hill, it was all over television. Police had killed him with 48 bullets in Cleveland. Fred Ahman Evans. I'll never forget that experience. You know, the Black Panthers, everything the Black Panthers said in the 60s, Barry, it's the same stuff we need today. We still need housing, decent clothing. We still need food.
Yes, sir.
We still need the jury to be of our peers. It ain't changed. The game ain't changed. People have changed. They think it's different. It ain't different. The reason black people kill black think nothing of it. The reason they can't get people together because it don't affect them on their front porch yet. But once it gets to the front porch and goes into the kitchen, then they'll all come out.
You got
and
it.
it's slowly, surely getting there. They killed another baby today. I mean, we're killing each other. We're Willie Lynch.
Do we missing this man or what?
I'm just
are you
telling
missing?
you.
Are you missing this
Listen,
man?
I'm telling
I could
you.
say it.
It's-
Malik can say it.
It's the Willie Lynch syndrome. He said, if
talk-
I can divide them, if I can make them hate each other, if I can divide them, make them hate each other, and confuse them, they'll kill each other. And so we're just, and he said, give me 300. He said it'll last for 300 years. Right. This is the anniversary of the 300th year.
Oh my God.
From the Willie Lynch, this is the 300th anniversary year.
And
1712 to 2012.
do you think people like you? I mean, come
You know,
on.
it's-
I mean, you got it. You, Mason, we need you.
But you know what it is?
We want you.
I'm the kind of personality, it's not about me, it's the vibe that I get from everybody. See, I use the mic to give it to anybody who wants it. That's my secret.
How about me?
Always.
No, but do you have the mic? Am I giving you the mic? Am I giving a youth organization a mic?
You're
I give
crazy.
Malik.
You're the craziest white man I know. Let me tell you about Barry. Long before this television show or anything that you may have seen, he was already in the community. He was trying to start all kind of events, make people aware. He tried a mentoring program. He tried 2 or 3 programs. He was committed. He's still committed, and that's the way it's going to go.
We're all committed. Everybody here tonight is committed. Mason, what happened to WGPR?
They quit.
Tell everybody
what.
What.
They quit.
Tell everybody what happened.
Black men who had a radio station and they quit. They quit. They were the only independent radio station in this state.
Black.
They're one of 3 or 4 or 5 in the country, and they quit. They just quit.
They sold
and when
out.
you quit, you give it back. And when you give it back, it becomes what it becomes. They had it. They decided not to use it, and they quit.
So you were hurt.
No, I wasn't hurt.
I was hurt.
I wasn't hurt.
We were hurt that you were gone. We wanted to hear the Curtis Mayfield stories in the morning. We wanted to hear about Angie Bofield, the Isley Brothers, Stevie Wonder's life. You gave us that stuff, huh?
Yeah,
Otis Redding.
We won't stop doing those stories.
Okay.
And whatever the form is over the next couple of weeks, we will do it. But trust me, to do that, we won't quit. It's not about quitting. It's about adapting. When they see, we were independent. People don't know that. We ran our own radio station. We paid to be on.
Leased it.
Yes. We paid to be on. They took me to court, and they threatened to put me in jail once because they said, hey, man, I mean, we don't understand why you're not paying money, some child support stuff. The point was, you can't put me, because we own the show, we paid to be on. We paid more than was necessary to be on. But that's the way that God wanted it to be. That was an experience God gave us. We did it, and we moved. So we're just going to keep moving.
Let's take a – I knew it. The white boy don't get this many calls.
Crazy.
Hey, you're on the air with Mason in the Evening. Hi.
Hello, listener. Viewer. Did we lose him?
Good evening. You're on the air with Mr. Does everybody know his first name?
Just Mason. That's the only name I use.
You're on the air with Mason in the Evening.
You know my real name.
I know his real name. Good evening.
Good evening, Barry.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm great.
And I want good evening to Mason.
Yes, this is me.
Mason in the evening.
Yeah, Mason in the Evening. Yes.
She's an ex-hip-hop.
You give Malik a little competition on with the guests, and you have someone like Mason on your program.
Say that again.
There's no competition with me and Malik. He's my brother, and you know better than that.
So
we don't want to even hear that word. I ain't somebody else from another organization. I'm a no competition. Anything I get, Malik gets it.
Well,
Malik Shabazz is a Detroit leader. He is an international leader. He is still a Black Panther. Barry Ross is Barry Ross. He is a leader.
In that Barry,
she knows.
Good.
Yeah. To see Mason.
I have to tell you, if I just may, real quick, this is a miracle for me. This man to come to my show.
It's not
First
true.
of all, I have to thank Gabrielle. Gabe, I got to thank you because
she kept up with me.
This man wasn't answering the white boy's phone call.
Barry, don't listen to Barry. hey, man, let me tell you something. Barry Ross and I are a lot closer than anything he's trying to pretend that we're not. And we've known each other 15 years easy.
He's a good person, and he's proven.
There are a lot of black kids that were buried in suits from his store. Trust me on that. And all I did, I half asked about it, and it was done. So just know that.
Yes.
I think.
Well, now that are we going to be seeing more of Mason?
Yes, you will. We got a television show coming right here. It's a crazy show. But you got to see it. We got a show, and it's coming. And it's coming right here. And you got to watch it.
Mason, they can't see you. Hey, Mason, they can't see you.
They couldn't see me?
This is not Fantasy Island.
No, we're going to do a show. We're gonna do it with my whole team. Barry has been after me to do a show for months now.
Thank you.
R.J. Watkins has also been after me, but Barry is a little different.
I get him.
I get him.
I got the nation, and the black folks
That's right.
couldn't get the nation.
That's right. But yes, we're gonna do a show, and thank you. I appreciate you calling.
Thank you, whoever you are.
Yes, we will be seeing more Mason.
Yes,
All right.
I guarantee you. Thank you.
You'll keep us posted, right?
Yes,
All right. Thank you.
yes. When I'm not doing basketball, yes.
All right. Thank you.
Bless you.
dear.
Thank you.
Mason.
God bless
Thank you for your call.
Man, it's nothing like being in Detroit.
This is Sister Akila Wanda Redmond, newly elect to the school board.
Is it?
Yes, sir. All right, Brother Barry.
Thank you.
How'd you know that?
I'm white. I'm psychic.
Gotta be.
Hi, you're on the air.
Hey, Barry,
Yes.
you got the greatest person in the nation on your station.
Bless
That's
your
my
heart,
boy.
girl. Barry. How are you today?
This is Ruby.
Ruby. Ruby.
Will you be mine?
Barry, you know, I was at the dinner that Minister Malik had. Remember you met me, Barry?
Oh, yeah, sure.
See, Barry's been busy.
Who are you, Ruby?
Huh?
Who are you? I'm not quite sure.
I was the lady that came in with another lady at the
Well, welcome
Yeah.
tonight.
Great description, Ruby.
That's all he needs to know anyway.
Ruby, thank you.
Doesn't need to know any more than that.
Thank you for your call.
All right, love you, Mason.
Love you too, Ruby. You know that.
All right.
This is home.
I got to say, the next miracle would be Mojo.
Yeah,
you know,
but-
this has been my dream. This
you know where
turkey,
he is, right?
No.
He's in Kentucky.
I want him here.
He was
I've been asking about him. I asked.
He's in Kentucky. He's doing a radio show. Or was doing a radio show.
I want to get him a show. We could put a sheet over him. I don't care if he don't want to be seen. Whatever. Yeah, he doesn't want to be seen.
Find Mojo. Yeah.
So Mason, you know, I believe you trust me.
Yeah, I trust you.
Okay. You know, I want to do something with you. I'm not going to put you on the spot here, but I hope you can stick around after the show for a few minutes.
For a few minutes, ladies and gentlemen, he's into my
I'll take
bedtime
Angie
now.
home. I'll take.
We'll do something. Barry, you know I'm going to do something with you. I promise you I come on this show. There's some other problems. I promise you I come on this show. This is great. I'm very proud of R.J. Watkins. And, Barry, you know I'm extremely proud of you, Malik Shabazz, as well. You've both been on my radio show. I think we had R.J. on, too, by phone or whatever. Detroit is a very unique place. I am proud, no matter where I go, to say I'm from Detroit. People often ask me, how did I come up with Detroit basketball? Let me tell you what that was about. That was about the city. Because at the time, the Pistons were beginning to come into their glory. They were going to switch the game out because they thought it was boring. They were a defensive team. They would take the ball. So they said, we're going to switch to the Houston Rocket game in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. And I'm like, you can't do it. You can't do it. We're finally playing. You can't embarrass our city like that. And then they went 3, 2. And I went, Detroit basketball. So the whole of that was the pride of being and living in Detroit. And so when I did it, you know, people said, where the heck you get that from? And it's actually a reversal of a negative that I turned into a positive. The negative at the time, which you don't even hear anymore. Well, you do hear it a little bit. And here's the reversal of a negative that I turned into a positive. Reversal is air ball. I flipped it to Detroit back. And so, but it was, I was not going to let the network, the national network, get away without saying Detroit. Because this is a proud area. Even with all the chaos that goes on, it does not totally represent all that there is. There's extremely intelligent people here, people who care. There are business people here. There are intellects here. There are doctors and nurses and engineers, and the list goes on. You know, I was originally born in Cleveland, but even the people in Cleveland will tell you I'm from Detroit. You know, I know they often talked about when people die where they want to be buried. You know, I've lost my whole family, but I want to be buried in Detroit because this is where I'm from. You know, I spent my whole adult life here, and I'll stay here. And when we syndicate our radio show and go national, it's from Detroit. We'll bring people to Detroit because that's what Detroit is about. Eddie Kendricks told me he got the Temptations clothes. You seen the Getting Ready album? He said those clothes came out of sermons.
I have the Getting Ready album.
Okay, they came out of sermons.
Sweetness is my weakness.
I don't know
and
how
my weakness, girl, is you.
How'd you get all those suits, all those sizes? That's what I asked.
Let me just say one thing. Let me just say one thing, if I may. This show, my show here would not be possible if I didn't follow Minister Malik Shabazz here, because I had been on the streets and never, ever, ever seen a man with more truth and value and integrity than him. Let me tell you something. Me growing up the way I did, we tell
let me tell all you something. I want people to listen. I want you to know something. When I go nuts about being black on the radio, you know why they don't bother me? Let me say it again. When I go nuts on the radio and they don't bother me about being black, Malik Shabazz! And it happened a couple times. He don't talk about it, but a couple times. See what I'm saying? So it takes all of us to do what we do, Barry. You're in the fold. You always kept trying to find your way to be more productive. You've always
this
cared.
Has changed my life. Let me just say one thing real quick. Getting back to this, I would not have a show. I came here because I followed him in his body of work, and I wanted to see and learn more because I was never politically inclined. I'm not even educated in the conventional sense. I came here and watched this man have on the mayor of Detroit, the city council. I had never met people like this. Some people every now and then came into my store, but I said, oh my God, and how much I was learning. And then I found that I could get a show, not because I'm great, but because they needed them bread.
Well, it's because you care.
Because I wanted to take the show to the community and coordinate it with the work I do. So it's a win-win.
It's perfect for you.
It's perfect for me. It's perfect for him.
It's the white man and the Indians.
But
the Cowboys and the Indians.
This is white. I tell
you got to take a knife, Barry. You got to cut your hand, and we got to make a pet. Uh-oh, wait a minute. What movie was that? Spike Lee movie.
Hey.
You're doing good.
Listen.
Malik Shabazz.
I want to have you back.
That's a bad man. Malik Shabazz.
He's beyond bad. I'd like to know if you could, you'll talk to, maybe you'll come on his show. We'll see more of you. I want you to stick around for a few minutes.
Let me say this, too, before we close. Our last live show was with Malik Shabazz. People thought we were taking off the radio because we did that show.
Oh, no. And Star was on the floor laughing.
Wait a minute. We had Louis Farrakhan and Malik Shabazz. They said, that's why they took you off, Mason. They took you off. But I will say this. I got to say this, Barry.
We got a minute.
Okay, 1 minute. That is not why we were taking off. But I tell you this. When they took us off, the Nation of Islam wanted to know why we were off.
That's great.
And they held a private meeting with me. And I thought I was in a movie. But no, that's not why we're off, and that's not why our Arsenio Hall show went off either.
Oh, that's what they said.
Yeah, that's just wrong.
All
It's
right,
not why the show went off.
Let's wrap it up real quick because we got another.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got to go, but we'll be back to do our own show. Thank you, Ben. Opportunity. It's been great tonight.
He's being funny, but it's my pleasure. I would have kissed his damn feet to get this man on.
Barry is
we'll
more
be right
than a
back.
friend. See you. Barry's more than a friend. See you. See you, boys and girls. See you, ladies and gentlemen. There you go.
I can't thank you enough.
I'm going to see you.
Tuesdays, 9 p.m. on TV 33. Join me, Barry Ross, on Mixing It Up. We'll feature informative community organizations that will offer solutions to Wayne County residents in reference to employment, safety, and security within neighborhoods, job training, education, and mentoring programs. Remember, Tuesdays, 9 p.m., join me, Barry Ross, Mixing It Up on TV 33.
Hi, Mom. Where'd you get all this Narcotics Anonymous stuff from?
Mrs. Owens had Narcotics Anonymous come and talk to our class about meetings that can help people stop using drugs.
Narcotics Anonymous?
Yes, please. Can you help me?
Call Narcotics Anonymous. We can help you.
We are the faces of Detroit. We are the faces of Delray.
We are the faces of Delray. Governor Snyder wants to put us out of our homes by building a bridge in our front yard.
Homes, where we raised our families.
A community where we buried our loved one.
Delray is struggling, but it's not lifeless. It's a community of hopes and dreams.
Governor Snyder.
Invest,
not destroy.
1,000 men's suits. And right now at Sermons, you can buy one and get two free. Not one suit, but two free. Buy one suit, bring two friends. Buy one suit, bring two relatives. Buy one suit, get two free. Bring your pastor, your boss, your teacher. Buy one suit and get two free. Sermons with 90 years of experience, carrying jeans, exotic skin shoes, sets, shirts, leathers, sweaters, everything for the well-dressed man. Buy one suit, get two free. Sermons on Randolph in downtown Detroit.
The Brinker Group has been serving clients throughout Metro Detroit since 1989. Our group is comprised of 5 commercial contracting firms that specialize in construction management, general contracting, architectural interiors, flooring, glass and aluminum applications, and electrical installation. For exceptional service at competitive rates, choose the Brinker Group. We build with quality, confidence, and pride.
Hi, welcome to Better Detroit Youth Movement. I'm Erica Green, and today we have 2 young men that's with us today. Introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Vincent Weaver, and I'm here with the Detroit Youth Program.
struggling, but it's not lifeless. It's a community of hopes and dreams.
Governor Snyder.
Invest,
not destroy.
1,000 men's suits. And right now at Sermons, you can buy one and get two free. Not one suit, but two free. Buy one suit, bring two friends. Buy one suit, bring two relatives. Buy one suit, get two free. Bring your pastor, your boss, your teacher. Buy one suit and get two free. Sermons with 90 years of experience, carrying jeans, exotic skin shoes, sets, shirts, leathers, sweaters, everything for the well-dressed man. Buy one suit, get two free. Sermons on Randolph in downtown Detroit.
The Brinker Group has been serving clients throughout Metro Detroit since 1989. Our group is comprised of 5 commercial contracting firms that specialize in construction management, general contracting, architectural interiors, flooring, glass and aluminum applications, and electrical installation. For exceptional service at competitive rates, choose the Brinker Group. We build with quality, confidence, and pride.
Hi, Mom. Where'd you get all this Narcotics Anonymous stuff from?
Mrs. Owens had Narcotics Anonymous come and talk to our class about meetings that can help people stop using drugs.
Narcotics Anonymous.
Yes, please. Can you help me?
Call Narcotics Anonymous. We can help you.
You're watching Power Talk on your community TV station, UHF TV 33, Detroit, Highland Park. The following program does not reflect the views and opinions of Channel 33, its management, or sponsors.
We're back live. This is TV 33, Comcast 20. And mixing it up. I have a couple announcements before I get into my last and final guest. On the 30th, when is this? March 30th, at the Truth of Oracles Church at 1500 East State Fair, Anthony Browder is going to be giving a lecture on countering the negative effects of blacks in the media. Needless to say, the media reports what they want to report and does not report the truth and the positive things going on in the community. So this is a fundraiser in support of Get Up, Stand Up, Minister Shabazz's show, the Truth and Vision TV Ministries. It's only $15, and it's going to be a wealth of information. Please come out the 30th of March, Truth of Oracles, God Ministry, 1500 East State Fair. And we'll continue to announce this, and we appreciate all the work that Minister Shabazz does in the community. And I wouldn't be here if it weren't for Minister Shabazz. I can't thank him enough. So without, listen, we only have a few minutes left. I want to thank the Detroit Youth Movement, the Better Detroit Youth Movement, for coming on the show. You guys do a great job. We appreciate you wherever you are.
Great.
And I want to introduce to you, he's no stranger to my show, and you see him all over the Detroit community, Mr. Stephen Boyle, major photographer in the city, a spokesperson very involved in Occupy Detroit. Thank you for coming out.
Thanks
How
for
are
having
you?
me out.
You got a couple important announcements tonight.
Sure. You know, it's funny, the Better Detroit Youth Movement, 5 years ago I was with the people that founded the organization, and I'm real proud to see people that 5 years ago were a whole lot younger than they are now, which is great. It's great to see the involvement of the movement and the millions of dollars that have been awarded to students through their scholarship program every year is amazing. I wanted to mention that we have a very significant day on Friday. The bus hearings are going to be happening, and there's not an awful lot of publicity about this because the Department of Transportation has effectively shut the public out of their offices. They announce events where they're willing to talk to people, and then they don't even show up. You place phone calls to the department, the phone doesn't go answered at all. The changes are going to be elimination of the bus service on DDOT between, it's looking like about midnight till about 4 o'clock in the morning. And
No bus service.
No bus service at all. If you're shot with a gun, you're stabbed with a knife, you may as well walk to the hospital.
Go ahead.
This isn't good. There's an awful lot of problems. People that have work, barbacks, people that work at the bars, maybe they don't have transportation, they rely on the bus. Even people with entertainment situations. How many people actually take the bus to the Tigers games in the summer, and then they go into extra innings, and you're out after midnight trying to find a way home, and you got down there on the bus. How are you going to get home?
Not to interrupt you, and I don't mean to be rude, but we're
ahead.
short on time. Tell everybody these are meetings
Right.
to get the transportation system back on track and protest what
Right.
they want to do. Where are the meetings? What time are they?
The meetings are going to be at Wayne County Community College over at Connor and I-94 at 5901. That's one of our locations. It's going to be from 11 o'clock till 1 o'clock
When?
on Friday. And the other is on Friday as well from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock.
Where's that at?
That's also at that location, but there's a second location the same times, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and 6 to 8. And the other location is the Northwest Activity Center, which is at 18100 Myers. So there's two locations, two same times. You can go to the Occupy Detroit website, occupy-detroit.us. I don't know if you can see the card. I know that it would take a little camera work. And then we've got a post there. You can also find information in the Huffington Post. The Citizen has had news that's all over. It's showing up in the news. Unfortunately, it's not been well publicized as to what's going on. The other thing is there's a regional transit authority. There's some work on that, and that may wind up being a privatized oversight that's going on
Everything
top
could be
of it.
privatized if we
Yes.
get emergency. So listen, you
They're
have a
taking so much away
transportation
from us.
meeting. Isn't there an additional subject? There's a different.
There's
protest?
another activity going on Friday also. They're closing schools. And the schools that are being closed is a pretty extensive list. We're a rally at Mayberry Elementary from noon till 1 o'clock, and then moving that protest that runs from noon to 1 over to 1:30 at the Detroit Public Schools Administration Office, which is in the New Center area at New Center 1. I think it's 3031 West Grand River is
So-
the address, or
Grand
Grand
River
Boulevard. Grand Boulevard.
Okay,
Grand
now
Boulevard,
what time
sorry.
is the protest meeting for the schools? 1:30?
So the schools is at 1:30. The buses are from 11 to 1. And
The Northwest
also-
Activity Center
and Wayne County Community
All
College.
right, and you can go to make it easy if you have a computer. The Occupy.
Yep,
What is it again?
Occupy Detroit, occupydetroit.us.
And you posted this on the.
I
Empowerment
posted it
Movement.
up today. It's out on Facebook. We've got 4 events on that. We're probably going to be posting another event to give you more of a timeline of this combination of activities that's going on Friday. It's going to be a busy day, and there may be something else shows up along the way.
I got a 20. Let me take 20 seconds for a phone call. We're going to have to come back and say goodbye. This has to be quick. Hello, could you make your call quick, please? We're closing in a half a minute. Hello, you're on the air.
Barry, just a quick correction. The school board is no longer on the boulevard. Now, Roy Roberts is still in the Bishop Building, 14th floor. But they have moved the DBE to a Board of Education.
But where is this meeting? Is it?
The rally is scheduled to be on at 2nd and Grand Boulevard. That's where we're doing the protest.
Okay. What is that, a church?
It's the New Center 1 building.
Okay. Okay.
But what I'm saying is that's Roberts is in the Bishop Building.
The
board is no longer in that building.
Thank you. Yeah, he
you.
said 2nd and what, the Boulevard?
You're right, which is where the administrative offices are across from
the street.
Right.
Thank
right.
you,
He'll
Sister
be in both.
Keila.
But thank you very much.
Thank you. With all that in mind,
thank you.
It's going to be a busy weekend. We appreciate you coming to make these announcements. We appreciate your involvement.
Yeah.
I thank you, everybody, for watching my show. You don't have to watch me. I try to bring you some pertinent, relative, informative news and education, and I'm going to continue to do that as long as I'm alive. I want to be here to come to you. And anybody that wants to go any further, you can join Mixing It Up with Barry Ross on Facebook. Any of your comments would be appreciated. Until then, I'll see you next week, and everybody have a safe, good week. Sermons closed. Buy one, get two free. Tuesdays, 9 p.m. on TV 33. Join me, Barry Ross, on Mixing It Up. We'll feature informative community organizations that will offer solutions to Wayne County residents in reference to employment, safety, and security within neighborhoods, job training, education, and mentoring programs. Remember, Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Join me, Barry Ross, Mixing It Up on TV 33.
Hi, Mom. Where'd you get all this Narcotics Anonymous stuff from?
Mrs. Owens had Narcotics Anonymous come and talk to our class about meetings that can help people stop using drugs.
Narcotics Anonymous.
Yes, please. Can you help me?
Call Narcotics Anonymous.
Wasting all your hard-earned money putting ads in the newspapers, and you still don't see real results. Do you want to see real results? Well, put your for sale or for rent items on TV and have it sold or rented today. Have your items seen in over millions of households today with prices starting as low as $12. For more information, call 313-377-4328 or visit our website today at www.brslnetwork.com.